O Great Spirit, O Infinite Lord of Stillness, O ye powers that be, in all of thy names and all of thy forms, Namaste. O ye powers that be, of the air, earth, fire, water, ether, Namaste. Ancestors, ancestors, ancestors of all of the lineages which we draw upon, which we respect, which we honor. Most beloved gurus of the Holy Kriya lineage, Om Shri Babaji Namaha, Om Shri Lahiri Mahasaya Namaha, Om Shri Teshwarji Namaha, Om Shri Paramahansa Yoganandaji Namaha, Om Shri Satguru Shaliji Namaha, Om Shri Kusumi Kriyanandaji Namaha. Bless us. Bless us as we gather at this sacred time. Bless us again and again and again. Bless us yet again and again and again. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Focus your attention at the sun center. Allow the breath to breathe itself. Allow the infinite Lord of stillness to enter into your being and to rest with you, to stay with you, to be with you in this moment. Namaste and welcome. Welcome to my heart. Welcome to our Sunday meditation. The great way is easy for those who have no preferences, says the Shin Chin Ming. Or, if you prefer, life is easy if you have no preferences. Holding to your opinion for or against something, the slightest amount sets up a barrier between you and life. And so we shall see. Once upon a yogi time, in the ever-present now, there was a village in India, in ancient India. And strangely enough, in this village, in 1 year time, there were born 6 boys, 6 souls of the male, who were males, who were men. They grew to be men. And oddly enough, they were all blind, could not see. The villagers didn't know what had happened, but they treated these boys, these babies, these boys, these men, with great care and great kindness. They took care of their needs. They made sure that they had everything that they could want to live. They helped their families. They taught them the best they could. And so the boys as they became man, would sit near the entrance to the village. And the village was along a path that travelers had to stop as they were going from one place to another. And so they loved being there because they could hear stories, oh, of all the great and wondrous things happening in the world. They could hear stories. And they did. When they were grown men, they heard the story of a giant being that clomped upon the earth. Boom, 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 boom. They heard it from one traveler, and they heard it from another traveler, and they heard it from a third traveler. Oh, they could not believe it was true. And the name of the being, they called it an elephant. Elefante. Ellie the elephant. And they began to debate about Ellie the elephant. From morning till night, they debated. They debated what color it was, what size it was. Was it real? Or was it just a story that they were being told? Now they heard that the princess, the Raja's daughter, had an elephant that she rode. She rode it, just like a cow or a mule. She rode it. They couldn't believe it. How could this princess ride this beast that was supposed to be so gigantic and large? And from the moment that they got up until the moment they went to sleep, elephant, elephant, elephant. It looks like this. No, it looks like that. No, it's like this. No, it's like that. Well, in time, the villagers got very tired of hearing of this because every time they go in the morning to get their water, every time they go to have their chai, they'd walk past this group of six chattering and chattering and chattering and chattering. And this one would say, "Take my side. I'm right. Take my side. I'm right." And finally, the elders of the village got together and said, "Look, you know, Johan's son, he's working at the palace. We've got to get somebody to take these fellas to the palace so they can see an elephant, so this will all stop and we can have some peace and quiet. No more disagreements." So they sent a note off to Johan's son. He said, "Sure, let them come." And they got a young boy in the village who knew the way to the palace. And they said, "You come and you lead them." And so the young man stood up, and the first blindman, the shortest one, put his hand on the shoulder, laid his hand right on the shoulder of the young one. And each of the men lined up so that they could carefully walk to the palace. And one bright morning, off they went. Off they went. Wow, it was quiet. All the villagers waited and waited and waited. Oh, it was so wonderful. There was no chattering. There was no bickering. Well, there was a chattering of the birds, but there was no bickering, no arguing. Oh, they breathed. And the men were talking among themselves. "I wonder what this is going to be like. I just wonder what this is going to be like. It's going to be so wonderful. I wonder what it's going to be like." So they get to the palace, and Johan's son is there to greet them. "Come, come, come, come with me." And takes them over to the mother elephant. The mother elephant. Big, 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 gigantic elephant. Taller than you can imagine. You could not reach the top of the elephant. Big, 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 big ears. Long, long, long body. Big, big, big legs. Even the princes had to climb a ladder, had to climb stairs, specially built stairs to get up to where she sat on the elephant. So they go around. Now you know the story, I'm sure, but I'll tell you anyway. They go around the elephant and they feel, oh, yes, I see, I see. The first, oh, this is very smooth, smooth. Why, the elephant is like a solid wall. The first man says to himself. The second man goes to the front. He's taken to the front. They're all taken different places. And he feels, big, wow, wrinkly. It bends. Why, this is a snake. This is a snake. This is like a snake, he says to himself. The third man goes. He feels ivory tusks. Oh my, oh my, oh my. They're sharp. They're sharp like a spear. He can feel it. It's dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. The fourth man has taken over. He can't even get his arms around the elephant. This piece is so big. This is as large as a cow, as large as a cow. The fifth elephant goes, ooh, ooh, ooh. This is like a fan. Oh, maybe this is really, maybe the elephant is a magic carpet and can fly everywhere. Oh, feel this soft, big, maybe it's a magic carpet. And the last one was taken around. This feels like a hairy rope. There's a knot and there's hair on the end of it. This is just a hairy rope. What's the big deal? So Johan's son calls them all together. They help them get in a circle and they say, now, what did you think of the elephant? What did you find? And the first one says, well, it's like a wall. The second one says, no, it's a snake. The third one, no, it's a spear. No, it's a cow. No, it's a magic carpet. No, it's just a rope. And they start yelling, sphere, rope, cow, wall, snake, magic carpet. Round and around and around and around. The cacophony fills the space. The entire area is filled with their yelling. Cow, rope, wall, magic carpet. Would you please be quiet? I'm trying to sleep, roars the king out of his window. Would you please be quiet? I'm trying to sleep, roars the king out of his window. And they look at each other, but they can't see. They turn to each other. They're holding hands. Well, it can't be dangerous because the king lets his daughter ride on it. And they start to debate among themselves. And they continue, and they continue, and they continue. And finally, Johan's son calls to the boy from the village and says, would you lead them back, please? Would you please lead them back? Get them away from here. The boy stands, the first man puts his hand on the shoulder, and each man follows. And Johan's son says, thanks for visiting. Hope you got what you came for. And all the way back home, they were yelling and screaming, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right, I'm right. The elephant is a snake. The elephant is a sphere. The elephant is a wall. The elephant is like a cow. The elephant is like a rope. No, the elephant is a magic carpet. They got home and they continued and they continued and they continued and they continued. What about you? What about you? What about you in your mind? What about you that looks at life? Perhaps maybe once or twice you've looked at life and you've said, no, it's a wall. No, it's a snake. No, it's a rope. No, it's a magic carpet. We should all say it's a magic carpet. What are you holding on to? What are you holding on to? What is causing you pain, suffering, discontent? What is causing you this? That you are not only arguing with others, but you're arguing, you're allowing your mind stuff to argue with itself. Well, I should do this. No, I should do that. This is good. That is good. This is right. That is right. Until the cacophony in the mind becomes so heavy and so strong that your mind becomes angry, that the emotion that wells up in your mind is depression, is sadness, is anger, is dislike, sometimes even hatred. That the feeling that you are right, that your opinion at this moment is right, overtakes you completely. And you lose your sensibility. You lose your ability to turn inward, to discern, to see, and you are blinded. Blinded by the thumb in the eye that blocks out the sun of your self-awareness, the sun of your intuition, the sun of your wisdom, the sun of your knowing. Now, you are not unique. We live upon the earth plane. We live in a world of duality. And in the science of Kriya Yoga, which is part of the Shankya Yoga school of philosophy, if it matters to you, it is a science of duality. There is pleasure, there is pain. There is fame, there is disrepute. There's hot, there's cold. But we take these things and we break them down even further. Oh, there's good and there's bad. There's acceptable and unacceptable. Acceptable and unacceptable in any given time, in any given place. And we set up oppositions. Now, I suppose that this wouldn't be a problem if it only happened every once in a while, but it doesn't. It happens every day, continually throughout your day. The mind has a habit that it has picked up. And that habit is the habit of your ego. The habit of your ego self, which says, this is my prism. This is the prism through which I see life. And that ego self has a color. You know what a prism is like. A prism filters everything that you see. You know, my glasses are a prism so that the eyes can see better. Your glasses are a prism. But more importantly, your consciousness is a prism through which you see the world. I don't know where this thought came from. Your thoughts are a prism through which you see the world. And years ago, I was having a conversation with my guru, and we were talking about pork, not being pork eaters, and talking about food, and not being critical of those who are eating food that we don't eat, or that I don't eat, or he doesn't eat, or whatever. And he said, well, those great monks in Tibet eat yak. Now, they don't eat a lot of it, but they eat a little bit of it. And yak is part of the pork family. Now, that's a group, that's people who are very devoted, do a lot of sadhana, do a lot of spiritual discipline, really are very advanced in their disciplines. So how can one say that that is always, under all circumstances, a bad thing to do? I was really kind of shocked that he said that, but I thought, well, he's right. You don't know the circumstances of another. I don't know the circumstances of all others. But the mind, unless you train it, continues to set up oppositions. Continues, my beloved, in its habit. Every day you wake up in the morning. I have a family member who I don't live with, but who I see frequently. Every time that family member wakes up in the morning, the first thing she does is look out and see what the weather is going to be. And the weather externally affects her weather internally. And she immediately, her mind has created a habit of, oh, this is a terrible day. Oh my God, it's going to rain today. Oh, the temperature is 2 degrees more than I wanted. Or, oh, it's a beautiful day outside. Oh, I love the temperature. Oh, the sun is out. It's great. But she lets that one element of her life filter across everything. Everything. It filters everything. And if the sun is out, the day is good. Now, all of us have this. It's not making fun of her. All of us have this. We have to begin to say, we're living in this world of dualities. How do I live in it and be happy? How do I live in it and be happy? Well, we have the signs of the zodiac. Now, the signs of the zodiac, I think, are quite interesting because they really, the Babylonians divided the heavens into segments of 12. They were the first that we have today in Western culture, the first that we have written of the division of the skies into segments. And they divided it into 12 segments. Well, 6 and 6, 1 and 7 are opposed to each other. They're opposite. What do the oppositions do? The oppositions set you up, set me up, set our psychology up, our thinking up, our consciousness up, to see out of our prism and to oppose the other. Now, Kriyananda always talked about this as a teeter-totter. You say, you're fine. You're absolutely fine having the opposition if you have no resistance. You've all been on a teeter-totter when you were little, and no, it's wonderful. When you're just the age that the person on the other side is exactly the same height as you are, your feet both touch the ground, you can sit on the teeter-totter and you can just balance it by standing there. You don't have to go anywhere. You're still, and you can balance a teeter-totter. Shut your eyes and remember for a minute. Oh, the joy of that. The joy of being there with the other on the teeter-totter. No pushing. But then somebody goes, moves. And one side goes up, the other side goes down. And the other person moves up and down, up and down, up and down. This is your mind. It is the nature of your mind. It is the nature of your mind when it clings to preferences, when it clings to your opinions. Now, what is to be done? Well, the sadhana is simple. The practice is very, very simple. You take one thing that you really like, my morning cup of tea, your morning cup of chai. I like my chai a certain way. I like it with cinnamon in it, and probably more cinnamon than other people do. But what's the practice? The practice is one morning, reach into the cupboard and pick something out. There's the peppermint tea. There's the orange blossom tea. Or I'm just going to have hot water and lemon this morning. You do something that disrupts the pattern of your preferences, those habits that you have acquired. Ask somebody you're living with or somebody you like, somebody you're close to. What do you have in the morning for your first drink? What's your first drink in the morning? And follow that if it's safe and healthy for you to do that. Just once, just one time. Okay, well, now what? Watch what happens to your mind. Do you long for what you're not having? No, I don't think so. But maybe yes. And if you do, the answer is, well, right now I'm just going to accept this. You go out to eat with family members and they come to take your order, and you just say, I'll have what he has. I'll have what she's having, whatever the other person is having. Again, if it's a safe thing, if you don't eat pork, then you don't have the pork. But, say it's something else, well, they're having a spinach salad and I really prefer butter lettuce. They're having olive oil and vinegar on their salad and I really prefer blue cheese. Something like that. The key is let go. One little thing after another. Let go of your preference. And now I'm telling you, you first let go of the physical. Then you let go of the verbal. Say your mind has the habit of wanting to express an opinion about everyone you meet, everything you meet. You want the opinion. You want the opinion. You want the opinion. What is to be done? Now we've just completed, or are just completing in America, the Thanksgiving Day weekend. And some of you have had an opportunity to be with those that you are not with very often. And you may find that you're in a position where others are expressing their opinions that are diametrically opposed to what you believe, what you feel, what you identify with, what you want, what you support. Now, it's good to be quiet of the mouth, but even better, the next step, which is the most important, is to still the mind, to allow your mind to be open, to be silent, to be accepting, to be interested, to be curious. Become curious. Become curious about what are they thinking? What are they thinking? Don't judge it. Let go of the judgmentalness. What are they thinking? Kriyananda used to tell the story all the time, very frequently, when he was in the ashram, and this man came to visit one day, came to visit Shelley. And Kriyananda said, he was the most obnoxious man I ever met. Obnoxious. Came in the house, didn't take his shoes off, didn't namaste to Shelley, didn't greet him. Hello. Very rude, very, very rude. Came to ask Shelley about God. No love offerings, nothing. Just, pound, pound, pound. Didn't even have an appointment. Pounded on the door and Shelley went to answer it. The fellow stayed for about an hour. And Kriyananda was seething. From the minute he walked in till the minute he left, he became angry and angrier and angrier and angrier. The ruder the man was to Shelley Ji, the more upset Kriyananda's mind became. And so when he left, the man left. Pranananda said, oh, I'm so glad he's gone. How could you stand that? He was the most obnoxious bore I've ever met. Shelley went back and, tugged his beard. Oh, he was interesting. He was the most interesting person I've seen in the longest time. Which are you? We are all the first. We are all Kriyananda, Kriyanandi, saying, that obnoxious person, this and that and the other thing. We should strive to be Sri Shelley Ji. Wow, that's interesting. Wow, that's really interesting. What can I learn from that person? And in the world today, we need, you and I, we need to see the others. It doesn't mean you have to agree, but it means that you must give up your opinion for a minute. This wonderful thought. There is a wonderful thought. You don't have to have an opinion about everything that happens. You don't have to have an opinion about everything somebody's wearing, every scent they've got on, every smell that they emanate, every word that they say. You don't have to have an opinion about it. You can simply say, somebody says, what do you think? Well, geez, what's your opinion? What do you think? You tell me. And don't proffer your own opinion. Don't work so hard at having your own opinion. Don't work so hard at being right. Don't work so hard at fighting everything. Step back, send up, and see. Look out 7 days. Look out 7 months. Look out 7 years. Look out 7 lifetimes. Can you let go of something? Can you let go of the thought of your opinion, your preferences? If you wish, your biases and your prejudices, but your preferences, can you let go of them long enough to see clearly? And it just takes a nanosecond. It just takes a nanosecond. But your preferences divide your life. Your preferences separate you from others. Now, I prefer a clean house to a dirty house. I don't like dirty houses. I don't want my own home to be dirty. I want it to be clean and sattvic. But I will admit, the one area that there's clutter in our home, and it comes from me. My husband participates some too, but there's books. There's books in every crack and nook, every room that you go into. A book, or 5 books, or 100 books, right? I obviously have a preference for books. And so, slowly let go of that. Let go of it. Give some of your books away. And so the sadhana will grow for you. The spiritual discipline will grow for you. You will begin to see, oh, yes, I would really like to have that. I think I'll give it away. Because letting go of my preferences and my desires is more important than this physical thing, this physical object. With every object, with every form, there are thoughts attached to them. And those thoughts in time, can become your preferences. This is how war is started. This is how disputes in families are started. This is how pain grows in the world. And in order thus for you and I to be able to be of any help, we must lift above and meditate and meditate and meditate and meditate. And I'm not saying to you, give up everything all at once. But I am saying that as you walk through your day, and you walk through your life, it is important to say, I must let go every day, every day, every day. Find something, some way to let go of your preference. You like your tea with honey? Have it without honey, just once in the day. It's not going to kill you to have your tea without honey, but your mind will say, oh, I can accept that. Somebody's espousing an opinion that you don't care for. Try to listen to them. Just listen to them with acceptance. Not of their ideas, but of the soul that is with you, in front of you. So that you can say silently and mentally, I accept you. I accept you. I accept you. I respect you. I respect you. I respect you. And then when they drink a little bit too much, or they become obnoxious because they've been eating too much unhealthy sugar, you are holding that feeling of acceptance. And my beloved, if you can accept them, you will accept yourself. If you can accept them, you will accept yourself. And so I am not saying to you that all of your disagreements will fall away. I'm saying that you can let most of them fall away. If you really are willing to just for a nanosecond, an instant, to say, yes, I can let go of my preference about this. Now, the last thought that I would like to share with you before we meditate, just the last thought, is to realize that within each of us, there are these 12 segments of the soul. We call them in astrology the signs of the zodiac. The soul, your memory track is divided into 12. And within each of those, with those 12, every one of them has an opposition. Fire opposing air, earth opposing water, air opposing fire, water opposing earth, fire opposing air, earth opposing water. They all have an opposition. And so we need to let go of the fighting of the mind and ascend upward. And as we move into the holiday season, as we move into this towards the solstice, which really spiritually and mystically is where we are moving and what is most important, this is a time to slow down, to turn inward. Slow down and turn inward. Turn inward, and not at the same place, but ascend up so that you can see your life, so that you can see the life that you are living within, the life that you are a part of, and you can see the direction with which you wish to step going forward. It is the time not to go crazy in all of the activities of the earth, but to turn inward. As we approach the 21st of December, the solstice, it is the time for all of us to use, to let go of our preferences and see what wonder will appear before us. Because as we enter the new year of 2023, and you will hear me talking about this in the next weeks and months, we are entering a Maha new portal of time. Maha, great, a new portal of time that will, for most of us, last the remainder of our lifetimes. For some of you who are young enough, you'll walk through the portal for 40 years and you'll be there on the other side. For the other of us, we won't finish through the end of the portal. Our incarnation will end. Be wise. And for today, just for today, give up one preference. Just a little bit. Give up one preference. And I'll end this with a thought of wisdom that came from one of my disciples who owned a restaurant. She had several businesses that she created, but one of them was a restaurant. I never knew why she did it, but she said to me one day, I cannot believe how attached people are to the way that their $6 omelet is made. And I thought, boy, if you see that, every penny that you put, every effort that you put into your business was well worth it. Because that is a profound, deeply, deeply profound satori and awareness of how we all are. How people will create disruption and arguments and anger over this little bit of food, this little meal that they're eating once. If your toast is cold, enjoy the fact that you have toast. Namaste. And let us go into our meditation now. Sitting with your spine erect, your hands in the Om Mudra on your thighs. Turn the head to the left with a resurrection breath. Bring the head back to the center. And watch the breath. Use the sipping breath to draw the energy from the limbs to the trunk. Inhaling as if through a straw. Again, from the trunk to the spinal column. From the base of the spine to the sun center. taking that golden light and moving it out in front of you. Sweep to the left, encasing your body in a golden light. And do this 3 times. Expand that golden light. And now ascend upward. Ascend as high as you are able. Ascend to the high place. And as you have reached the high place, see in front of you a path leading up to the mountain range. Step and walk along the path. As it leads into the forest, ascend. Easily ascend halfway up the mountain. You reach a clearing, and in front of you is the clearing of light. And a shrine. Enter the gateway to the shrine. Walk through the entrance. Walk through the shrine. It is filled with light, drawing you to the back. The light and the colors that you choose, that you need, that come forth for you, are radiating. The pool of light in the back draws you. You see it is fed by a waterfall of light. Step into the pool of light, feeling your shoes dissolve, immersing yourself in the pool of light, feeling all of the old clothing dissolve, walking under the light fall. The light pours down upon your crown center. The light pours within every cell of your being, washing away the difficult karmas. For this moment, washing away the preferences, the biases, the prejudices, the desires. All of those things that have caused difficulty in your life, feel them washing away. Let go of your preferences at this moment, for just a moment. Let the light fill every cell of your being. Breathe in the light. Let the light and the stillness fill every cell of your being. When you are ready, filled with the light, walk forth from the waterfall of light, walking through the pool of light. Feel yourself clothed anew, refreshed, vivified, strengthened, healed. And walk out of this shrine, meeting your most precious Ishtadevata, your form of the divine, the Lord whom is most intimate with you. Call upon your Lord to be there with you. O ye powers that be, pour forth thy blessings. We have been blessed. Let us become an ever greater blessing unto all who enter our auras. In your mind's eye at this moment, choose something that is beautiful to you. Bring that form of beauty to your sun center. Sharpen it. See it. Vivify it. Breathe your breath into the form of beauty, enlivening it. Bringing that form of beauty to your sun center. Hold it above the sesamonic channel above the spinal column, and allow that form of beauty to descend as golden dewdrops down your spine. Radiating into the trunk of the body, the limbs of the body. Now chanting, if you will, silently or aloud, the Shanti mantra. Let us radiate that forth into the universe. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Radiate the beauty that thou art. Radiate the santosha, the contentment, the joy, the anandic bliss. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om, Om, Om. Om Ananda, Om Ananda, Om Ananda, da, da. Om Tat Sat Om, thou art that. Aham Brahmasmi. You and you alone bring forth the beauty, the bliss, the Ananda into your life, calling upon life itself to bless you and to bless all others. Om Tat Sat Om, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Namaste. Thou art blessed. Know that you are blessed. Be thou blessed, be thou blessed, be thou triply blessed. Draw forth the blessings of life into your being. Let go of your preferences and lift and ascend and draw Ananda. I thank you, as always, for the blessings of your presence, for the blessings of your meditative energy. Namaste.